Hi Scorpio, I am Belle Book and Tarot, and I just wanted to introduce myself since this is most likely the very first video of mine that you're watching. I've done a few other signs. I think I finished all of fire this month. I did a few air signs about 2 weeks ago, so you're the very first. This is the very first video I've done for Scorpio, so I just wanted to say hi, show my face, and so you can get the overall vibe of who I am as a person, since most of the video will be focused on the cards. I do just want to say I'm getting very heavy, seductress energy from your spread. And I know that's very cliche to say that about you as a sign, since most of you are known for being very mysterious and very sexual, but I am getting this heavy from your read this month. So I will focus the camera down on the cards and try to go bit by bit and just explain a little bit of what I've seen. I do hope that it all resonates, especially since it's nothing too bad. There are signs that did get worse reading, so we could start there. If it doesn't resonate, please feel free to check your sun, moon, or rising. And yeah, we can get started. As I said, very heavy, seductive energy. I feel like I'm even talking in a much more breathy tone right now. I had to chug almost a bottle of water and just to get through the introduction. But yeah, heavy temptress energy. And I kept getting Lilith. So if you are watching this, even if you are a Scorpio, I would also check your Lilith sign, because I do feel like there's some information there that's trying to get to you. If you're a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and a Scorpio Lilith, then this is definitely extra for you. But yeah, Lilith energy. I also got, I don't know if you know the story of John the Baptist, but the dancer, Salome or Salome, however you choose to pronounce it, she came up in the reading too, but I will get to that later. In my other videos, I always try to explain where I get the most energy from in your spread. Usually for most of the videos, I get it from the first card. And typically the first card, for some reason, in all these videos, aside from one so far, the first card is a major arcana, and that's the case for you, but it was in the reverse. But this is not where I'm getting your energy from in this spread. I got it from the second card, which is also a major arcana, and it is the Sun. So personally, I'm not seeing this because this is a deviant moon, and I feel like because the art is so different, it really changes my interpretations of the spreads, which I don't feel is a bad thing. For this Sun, I'm kind of getting you are someone's light in an otherwise very dark and boring world. It's very dramatic to say that, but this is how I get the Sun is not you or even what's coming to you. I get that this here is actually how someone views you. And again, if you take a look, this looks like they're obviously dancing, but this person right here is just very, this person right here is being led, and then this person is leading. And it looks very natural, they're very in touch with themselves, their bodies. And this is what I see you as being, and this is what I see your person, or someone who wants to be your person. This is how I feel they look at you. This is a very intimate card. Usually the Sun card has a child riding a horse, flowers everywhere. It's typically a very innocent and happy card. And this card is a lot more adult or a lot more sexual. And for that reason, I do kind of get that it's in relation to you. True story, I was going to do your spread with another deck, and it just wasn't happening for me. I would shuffle, and I just wasn't happy with the energy. So I was drawn to use this deck, and I kind of feel like this is why, because I feel like there was a more mature message that needed to be said, And I feel like the other decks I had were very happy-go-lucky. I mean, of course, not for the sad cards, but for the cards that would have came out if this was the same spread, I feel like it would have looked completely different. But yeah, moving forward, for some reason I'm talking a lot in your video. To reiterate, I do see the sun as you being a wish fulfillment for someone else. I got the Two of Wands to clarify, and that kind of goes with my theme of longing and missing someone and just waiting. And I do see this as someone, you being their wish fulfillment, and someone is longing and waiting for you. I do also feel like this is to keep up with the analogy of this being a dance. I feel like someone is waiting for someone to make a move. It could be someone is waiting for a sign to make a move. It's just very stuck energy here. I should have started with the first card, but like I said, I like to go ahead with wherever has the most energy. This I got in reverse, as I said, the High Priestess and the King of Pentacles clarified. So I do take this to be your person. Someone very stable, a provider, and I hate to say it, but I got married family man energy from this card. That is the one catch with this whole spread. It is a positive spread, but it might trigger a few people, and I do hope that that's not the case. Again, when I read the cards, I don't judge. I don't try to enforce any morals or put my own opinions. I just try to be as honest as I can about what I see. And the theme here seems to be, yes, you are someone's wish fulfillment, but they are in a union already, and they may be in a marriage. This person, I get heavy earth sign energy, Taurus, Capricorn, not so much Virgo, but heavy on the Taurus and the Capricorn, because that did come up a few times for me. And for me, when I pull, a lot of cards make me, especially since a lot of doubles came up for you. You got 3 2s that came up that I didn't pull as a clarifier. There were just 2 cards that came up as I was doing your initial spread. I do feel like this read is a mix of your person and you. So a lot of it actually is your person. I got their energy the most. So with the High Priestess in reverse and the King of Pentacles to clarify, I do see this as, again, your person being in a union. They may or may have a family. They're definitely in some kind of long-term relationship. And they're really trying to fight whatever it is you two have, or whatever it is that this person may want you to have. I don't know. I don't see here that anything has happened. I really am getting the sense that this is all a fantasy. This could even, as weird as it may sound, this could even be someone's boss, someone you've met, or I may not know that well, but you see on a day-to-day basis. So keep that in mind. Yeah, this High Priestess, I feel like this is them, especially since it came up in reverse. This is them trying to talk themselves out of something. The High Priestess is also the Virgo sign in the Zodiac, so more earth sign energy. Heavy on the earth sign. So this person may be an earth sign, have it in their chart, or you may have earth sign energy in your chart. It's just too much for me to not take it into consideration. So again, with this being in reverse, this is someone's inner desires that they're trying to keep inward. They don't want it to come out. They don't want to act on it. This Two of Wands with the Sun card could be them wishing that they could, and hoping that some kind of divine intervention happens where they can. Meanwhile, it's just a fantasy right now, or every time they see you, whether it be at work or just around the neighborhood or at school or wherever, they just light up, or you just seem like you're just lit up and you're just this amazing person, this very interesting person. I kept getting that too, like you intrigue this person. Moving on, I got the Hangman in reverse. a lot of reversals here. And this was one of the first double cards. It came out with the 8 of Swords in reverse. So as I said, this is somebody that's trying to hold their desires inward and not act on them. And this is kind of reiterated with the 8 of Swords in reverse and the Hangman in reverse. The Hangman in reverse is someone that's standing still and that wants to take a risk but can't for whatever reason. And I feel like the big obstacle, of course, is that they may already be in a union. They may already have a family. They may have obligations. If this is your boss, which is a scenario, they could be single, but just it wouldn't be right or good for them if they did make a move because they don't want to risk their job. Or if they're your teacher, professor, the same applies. So I am getting that energy here. The Hangman too is just, I get more of, okay, they're just gonna sit back and watch and just wait. Because I feel like deep down they know that eventually they will be brave enough to make a move with this 8 of Swords in reverse. But they're kind of waiting for the right moment. Yeah, I definitely don't see it as, it's something that they are torn up about. I definitely see it as they're just waiting for the right time. And they also are kind of battling themselves morally because the Hierophant in the reverse came up. A lot of reversals, as I said. So for me, this could be they don't want to disappoint the people in their lives. They have heavy responsibilities and they just don't want to ruin things. They don't want to tear apart the whole family. They don't want to ruin their reputation. And they feel like that will be the result if they do give in to what they desire. On a side note though, this could also represent you and where you are spiritually and mentally this month. I could see this as you stepping more into the spotlight, you having some kind of sexual awakening and being more confident in yourself. Again, like I said, Lilith energy here, so I would, like I mentioned, I would go and check your Lilith sign and see where that falls, because that could also be the start of you kind of awakening to your power. With all these other cards here, especially the Hierophant in reverse, I do believe with that awakening comes the loss of friends, comes the loss of making people uncomfortable, and you may be tempted to keep that inward and hide it and suppress it, because that could also be what the High Priestess in reverse is. The King of Pentacles could stand for your family, for the social structures around you, and you really just don't want to disappoint those structures. You really don't want to ruin your own reputation. For some of you, because the 8 of Pentacles was next to the Hierophant in reverse, this could also mean that maybe some of you are partaking in some kind of work that's not traditional. Again, no judgment. I know a lot of tarot readers, they try to keep it light and fluffy, but I do feel like for some of you, you could be engaging in some kind of sex work and you're worried about either people finding out, or again, I'm getting heavy on the worrying about your reputation. So that's a big thing this month for you too, if that resonates. Because the Hangman with the 8 of Swords in reverse could be, alright, I'm stagnant, I don't know what to do. You're mentally really torn up about it. You don't want to make any moves. You really don't know, should you risk your income to please everyone else, or should you just do you, step out into the sun, be who you are, not be fearful of your power or of your decisions in life. I do find it interesting that the Sun and the Hierophant reverse were on top and below one another, so I do take it as your outward self battling with the people around you. And I think that's going to be an important theme for this month. That, or for the people close to you who really, really admire you and may want to offer you some kind of romantic gesture. So I feel like outside forces are definitely a big thing for you in July. moving forward, I do see the Four of Cups with the Six of Cups. And that kind of goes back to the other image or storyline I was getting about this person that may have their eye on you. The artwork in this kind of shows, family watching a show, and the devil is here. And funny enough, the devil card, I don't know if I said this, was the card that I kept seeing in all the other cards. So I do feel like that's you popping into someone's home life. This person being with their family, and they keep seeing you everywhere. And then this Four of Cups shows dissatisfaction with their home life, or just their life in general, or where they are now. So I do feel like this is the other person, like this doesn't have anything to do with you. For some of you that kind of relate to the whole sexual awakening and getting into your feminine power, regardless of what you are biologically, I feel like feminine power is not gender specific. I do see this as, again, you having to make a choice between society and your family and who you really want to be. I do see the Four of Cups as you being dissatisfied, but you have everything behind you and you kind of just don't want to give it up. So yeah, this is definitely interesting energy here. Yeah, especially with the Eight of Pentacles, I do see that as work already being done, not as the usual interpretation of you having to study something or learn a trade. And I find it interesting that the sun kind of pops up in both of these cards, or there's similar images of what looks like a sun. So this kind of goes back to either you having this sexual awakening and stepping into your power and just like having crazy magnetism this month, and even possibly getting into some form of unorthodox work. I'll say that. It could be anything. Yeah, that kind of goes hand in hand, but I do, with the sun card being here, I do see the worry of it being a public thing, especially since these two look exactly alike. For others of you, it could even just be that, hey, the work you're doing, regardless of what it is, will get some attention, and it will kind of put you in the spotlight, like I said, and also show your charisma, your magnetism, and get you, either a really good partner or just a really good life in general. So it doesn't all have to be negative. I actually don't see any of this as a negative for you. Yeah, and the Hierophant, people may or may not like it. They may have things to say. You may be forced to cut ties, but it's for the best. It's not going to hurt you in the long run. It's only going to make you better. And I do see the Sun card as freedom. So regardless, freedom is definitely here for you in this spread. The Two of Wands, also the Hierophant in reverse, it could be the need of wanting to tell somebody something or wanting to get a message out. And I do kind of see that here as you wanting to set boundaries and have more self-expression and be free of whatever image people are trying to put on you. And that can be with anything. It doesn't even have to be regarding your magnetism and your romantic life. It could just be even religion. It could be academically, what you believe in. It could be politically. Because some of these cards can be seen as political too. You could have political ideas that maybe a lot of people don't agree with in your social circle or your family, and you're kind of stuck on how to express that. I do see that here too. But with the Sun card being so strong, I do see that whatever it is you're trying to express, or whatever it is that's kind of thrust upon you, it definitely puts you in the spotlight in a positive way, and you definitely become a leader because of it, and people definitely start admiring you because of it, because the Sun card to me, especially in this deck, is heavy admiration. So regardless, whatever storyline you relate to, there are a lot of people out there right now that admire you. This, yeah, you're somebody's wish fulfillment in some sense. If this is a card, if these two cards are in relation to you personally, I do see this as your wishes being able to be fulfilled once you get out of your nostalgic period and you stand up to family and friends. Because the Six of Cups with the Four of Cups to me is kind of family and friends hindering you and hindering your goals. The last card to end this spread was the Two of Pentacles, and this was my Lilith card for you. This is the second most powerful card, and it was also the other two card here. Yeah, I skipped over these two, but I'll go back to that. This card normally is juggling, but for you, I see it as you combining two different identities and making them public, because I do see that big moon behind you. So I do see it as you combining your inner and outer energies, your inner selves, your inner desire, and I see you combining it with your outward image and how people view you and how you grew up. I see you kind of fluidly doing it. So whatever struggles you have here in the beginning of the month, toward the end, something happens to where you're just tired of hiding and you're just ready to combine identities and show people who you are. So I said that because I wanted to get the positive out the way first. Like I said, to me, everything here is positive, but I know some viewers may be more conservative than others. So if you are one of the people that are in the unorthodox career or dealing with someone that is in a union and is trying to be with you, that kind of is for you. Yeah, and I see those people taking over the spread mostly. Especially with these two cards, you got Justice and the Lovers. A lot of major arcana energy here. Again, with the seduction, this is someone that's just like completely giving into what they want. You see their head is thrown back, they kind of just like flung, just whatever happens, just take me, whatever. And I feel like this is your person. And this combined with Justice is just, they're finally stepping up and doing what's right for them. They're giving into what they want, and they'll deal with the consequences. And the Lover's card is, I feel like, your union. This being their old union, or their past union, and this being either the union they want with you or the union they'll eventually have with you. It all depends on who you're dealing with here. The Lovers with the Justice, unfortunately, could be a divorce, but I see it as a divorce that results from a relationship, not a divorce from your relationship. So it could be, hey, you told someone, I'm not interested in anything until you get rid of the partner you have. I don't want to be a third party. And this person does it, and then it ends up working out. Regardless, I definitely do see it working out because the Two of Cups was at the bottom of the deck. And to me, all these cards that came out, they were just, one person is definitely more in charge than the other, and that's another card I see here. I see this lady in the blue is almost being a siren, and this guy is almost like drinking to his death. You see his face is skeletal. It's a very destructive card, but a wanted destruction, if that makes sense. Because sirens are someone that, hey, everyone knows the legends of sirens, but guys almost seek them out. If you know what I'm probably not making much sense. So I'll just say, to me, all of these cards actually kind of speak to you being seen as some sort of siren type of energy here. It's really interesting. I mean, the Two of Pentacles to me was my favorite card in this spread. Initially, I thought that I was like going crazy a bit, and I thought that, hey, I'm like, all right, this is my first Scorpio video. Maybe I'm just like going too into their traits and reading based off of what I think about them or what everyone thinks about them. But when this card came out and I immediately kind of saw that mythical figure, I saw Lilith, I kind of knew I was on the right track. I don't know if you noticed the devil here, but that was like one of the first things I saw. And the fact that it's on her hips tells me that it's definitely a siren type of energy, seductress type of energy. Even her face looks like, I think she's one of the only people on this deck that's actually a person, or that looks most like a person to me. So I do see this as being you, regardless. A lot of these other cards, again, I see as being your person. And I wanted to kind of get a clearer image, so I pulled an oracle deck. I pulled from my oracle deck, and I got factors. We're so different. I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work. And that, again, brings me to that whole theme I see of someone really wanting to be with you, but they can't for whatever reason. And I just see it as almost like a mountain this person is willing to climb. All you have to do is really just sit there. You may not even be aware, but this person is really just racking their brain to figure out, like, hey, I want to be with Scorpio. How can I make this work? I should just say I saw 2 8s. So that does kind of denote that a new love is coming, but I also saw a lot of 2s. And like I said, I got a lot of pairs here. I got these 2s came out together. These came out together. And this is like the biggest one. The Lovers and the Justice came out together. So to me, that denotes multiple relationships in the spread. And funny enough, I don't feel like you're in any of these relationships. I feel like these are all relationships around you. And you just play a factor in these relationships, or this specific relationship, and someone really, really wants to make things work and get you in their life in some way. And you take that for what it is. I really hope I didn't turn anyone off by that reading, but I try to be as honest as I can. Yeah, I personally really like this deck. And there are just times when I'm filming or I'm doing personal readings and the deck I'm using is just not working. And I won't get a spread until I change my deck. So this is the deck that wanted to be used. And I kind of see why. Yeah, so we're kind of already pressed for time. I feel like I was rambling a lot. I want to pull one more Love Oracle deck. And if you have watched any of my other videos, you know I like oracle decks at the end of my video, especially if a lot of love has come up. I always get so nervous with love because it's such an important thing, and I know it's something that everybody wants answered if they have like love problems. Oracles are just super easy and straight to the point, where tarot is like, alright, well, it could be this, it could be that. I got, oh my god, Lessons of Mars, purely physical sexual attraction, fire and passions and fast and burn fast without other elements. And I just wanted you to see that. And I love when that happens because it reiterates that I wasn't going crazy, that what I saw in that spread was actually, for some of you, what it is. And yeah, I think with that card, that's more for your other person and for some of you too, because like I said, I saw this kind of energy of awakening and stepping into your divine feminine. I think it's saying also make sure you balance, because you did get that 2 of Pentacles. Make sure you add all the other elements. So let's say you're a water sun, but your Lilith or your Venus is a fire sign. Make sure you kind of combine your emotional with your passion to kind of make sure that you're not overdoing it, or you're not intensely sexual or intensely emotional. Like, make sure everything is on an even scale, because justice did come up for you too. So I like that. I kind of like reiterated everything that came up for you. I do almost want to do like an extended on you because I got so many different storylines, but I got the same running theme is in that you're definitely coming into your power. You're definitely like a high level temptress, whether intentional, unintentional, and it's affecting the people around you. So I would look into that and be careful. Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse, and that's perfect for what's about to happen. I think tonight and again next week. We're going through, I know the big eclipse is tonight, so that's that. I feel like, I don't know why I was so out of breath and so rambly during your video, and I had such good energy and I had so much to say about it, so I kind of annoyed with that. Like, there were so many times in the middle of filming I just wanted to start all over, because I really hope that the messages that I wanted to get across to you came across. But I'll do one more oracle and then I'll just like briefly get my thoughts together. I'm hoping that like you guys watch the whole video so that I can recap. Yeah, because we're already at 30 minutes. But yeah, oh, okay, let's see. The Void, stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. Again, I feel like that is kind of going back into the divine feminine energy I felt with you. Probably can't see that because it's so light. But yeah, again, stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. That could also mean some of you have air in your chart too, that you need to kind of embrace more of. Maybe your Lilith is in an air sign. So usually when I hear winter, I think of an air sign. I know air signs, like for me, my air sign, I'm a Libra, and I was born in the autumn, but yeah, again, maybe Aquarius energy for you. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Basically, just to recap, I think you're the only sign that I really felt the need to recap for, but I would definitely look into your chart further. I would definitely get in touch with your idea of sexuality, your idea of relationships, love. I would definitely also kind of start being aware of my effect on other people, and to see if anyone around you is acting very strange. Men in particular, if you're a woman, and females in particular, if you're a man watching this, I would definitely say there's someone around you that is infatuated with you. It goes beyond having a crush. Like, they think about you a lot. They're almost making life plans with you in their head. So I would definitely be on the lookout for that. If it's someone that you're into, just wait. I didn't see that there was anything you needed to do or any action you need to take. Yeah, that Two of Wands was definitely waiting energy for me. Waiting for partnership, waiting for a message, waiting for an income, waiting for some kind of acceptance. I do see it happening for you either way. I do see relationships for you either way too. So I'm thinking you're going to have a really good month. It's just a lot of introspection and finding your dark side, so to say. So I have all my socials, all the ways to book me for a personal reading in my description box. If it resonates, please like and subscribe. And I will see you most likely next week when I film your weekly video. So everyone stay safe during the eclipse, and I'll see you soon.